Concept 1, exponents. Today we're going to review exponents. You've seen them and used them in elementary school, so today we're going to make this short and sweet. To use an exponent, you have to be able to evaluate it. So first we're going to look at what is an exponent, what is a base, and what is a power. When you are using repeated multiplication that looks like this, repeated multiplication, you can write that using exponents. It's called a power. So this right here, 7 cubed, or 7 to the third, is called a power. It is another way to write repeated multiplication. When you look at the power, there are two vocabulary words that you need to understand. Base and exponent. The 7 is the base. That's the base number that you get from the repeated multiplication. And then the little 3 is what we call the exponent, and the exponent tells you how many times to multiply the base. So in this case, 7 to the third power, I would take the base of 7 and multiply it 3 times. There are different ways to say powers, and you must know how to read them. So for the power of 6 to the second, you can say 6 squared, you can say 6 to the power of 2, or you can say 6 raised to the second power. When you have an exponent of 3, you say it's 7 cubed. Cubed matches a 3. When it's squared, it matches the 2. So I could also say it's 7 to the third power, 7 to the power of 3, 7 raised to the third power. Those are all different ways to say it. In this power, I have a base of 9, an exponent of 4. So I would say it's 9 to the power of 4, 9 raised to the fourth power. There's no cubed or squared that goes with anything above 2 and 3. So 4 you just say to the power of 4 or raised to the fourth power. So cubed matches the exponent of 2, and squared matches the exponent of 2, and cubed matches the exponent of 3. Those are two that you will have to remember. We're going to practice writing powers. So in example A, we can see that it's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So the first step in writing this would be to find the base. The base is 3. Then we find the exponent by counting the number of 3's that we multiply. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the exponent will be a 5. So I can take this expression and write it as 3 to the power of 5. The second example has 4/5 times 4/5 times 4/5 times 4/5. The base is 4/5. The exponent is 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. It's written there 4 times. So this expression can be written as 4/5 to the fourth power. You often see fractions written with parentheses around it just to separate the exponent and the base. So you might see it written with parentheses as well. I want you to pause the video and I want you to give it a try. Try number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then push play to see the answers. Let's see how you did. On the first one, the base is 4, the exponent is 3. I would read this as 4 cubed or 4 to the third power. The second one, the base is 6. It's only there 1 time, so my exponent is 1. It would be 6 to the first power. Number 3, the base is 1/8. I see it twice, which tells me my exponent is 2. I can read this as 1/8 squared or 1/8 to the power of 2. And the last one, my base is 5, my exponent is 6. I would read this as 5 to the 6th power. Now that we know how to write exponents, we need to know how to find the value of an exponent. To find the value, we're actually going to have to use repeated multiplication. So there's a property that you need to be aware of. It is called the property of 0. Anytime a number is written to the power of 0, the value is always 1. Let's look at example 2. We're going to find the value of each of these powers using repeated multiplication. So A says 10 to the 4th power, which tells me my base is 10 and the exponent is 4. To find out what the value of this exponent is, I'm going to have to show repeated multiplication. I take base of 10, 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. There are 4 10s there. That's what my exponent tells me. And then I use multiplication to get the answer of 10,000. In this particular case, I also know that there's 4 zeros, which my answer would then have 4 zeros. B says 4 tenths cubed, or 4 tenths to the 3rd power. My base is 4 tenths, my exponent is 3. So to evaluate this or find the value, I'm going to write 4 tenths times 4 tenths times 4 tenths. And I would get 64 thousandths as my answer. Example C. It has a fraction. It's 3 fifths to the power of 0. And we just learned in this property that anything raised to the power of 0 is always equal to 1. So the value of this particular power is 1. And the last example, 2 to the 2/3 squared, or 2/3 raised to the 2nd power, I know I'm going to have to do 2/3 as my base, and I need to multiply it 2 times. So I would have 2/3 times 2/3. I know how to multiply fractions, so I multiply straight across and get 4 ninths. The value of this power is 4 ninths. I want you to pause the video, try number 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then click play to hear the answers. Let's see if your answers match mine. For 3 to the 4th power, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, I went ahead and separated and did 9 and 9. So 9 times 9 is 81. For number 6, when I have 1 to the 9th power, that is 1 multiplied by itself 9 times, which is going to be 1. Number 7 is 2 fifths times 2 fifths times 2 fifths. Notice in these two examples I used a dot to represent multiplication. You will see that in algebra where a dot is used and not an X to represent multiplication. So I did 2 fifths times 2 fifths times 2 fifths. I multiplied across and got 8. I multiplied across the bottom and got 125. So my answer is 8 over 125. And the last one, 12 squared, is 12 times 12, which is 144.